This episode of the Concord Caring Cooperative, Concord Village, 215 Adams Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11201, managed by AKAM, is brought to you by the number 13. Ooh, scary, scary number. Because these boomer bigots are superstitious, anti-math and science, willfully ignorant degenerates that are so scared of the number 13, they skip that floor on the elevator, throwing off all the other numbers. And much like every other dumb idea they've ever had based on absolute nonsense, they never fix it, never apologize, and in fact, double down. This is a dramatic reading of a letter I received from the infamous Ursula Hahn, the German Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you know, by the end of this story, I'm going to juxtapose her tone to another situation that exposes her hypocrisy and those in her gaggle of Karens that terrorize minorities in their own homes.
Dear neighbor, in case none of your neighbors on the 16th floor or any other resident of this building has made you aware of an untenable situation involving your dog, I'm letting you know that its barking has become intolerable. For a long time, I suspected the noise to come from a floor below the 14th. But one night in early December, I got dressed at 1:30 a.m. and stopped at all floors down to the 9th and up to the 16th and found a dog barking behind the door of apartment 60. The barking occurs for extended periods all day long, every day, and very frequently at night. Is heard in every room of my apartment, and I have been awakened by it in the early morning hours. During the day today, the dog was relatively quiet, but incessant barking began around 11 p.m. and didn't end until 12:30 a.m. I rang your doorbell without getting any response other than more barking. I assume you are not home on weekdays and are absent very frequently at night and on weekends. Or maybe you are hard of hearing or simply don't care about your dog's barking. The dog may lack proper training and respond to a sense of abandonment by barking. As a Concord village resident, I'm entitled to peaceful enjoyment of my apartment. As your dog's behavior makes this impossible, copies of this letter are being sent to the Concord village owner's manager, Frank Neves, and board president Leonard Jordan, with a request that they take up this intolerable matter with you. Yours truly, Ursula J. Hahn.
So first off, let's just admit straight off the bat that that's a crazy fucking letter to send a neighbor without having met them, introduced yourself. Straight off the bat. Second, I understand that there's noise, and it's not my fault. You waited months and months and months to try to figure out where it was coming from. And on the night you found out, it happened to be mine in that instance. We'll get back to that later. But the point is, when I first moved to the Concord Caring Cooperative, it was a few months of renovations before I could move in. So I put my dog at the time to stay with a relative, and he had a really bad ride down on the plane. And I said, let's avoid the plane. There's transporting services by van meant for this. And so I did that instead. And when he showed up on the back of a pickup truck, that's not what I had signed up for. This was back in the Craigslist days. There were no reviews. Okay. So I move in, and my next door neighbor, not Ursula Hahn, setting this up for you. She says, your dog has been crying and whimpering when you leave. And I'm worried about him because I'm a psychologist. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, because this wasn't an issue until I got here after the bad experience I just described. And she said, no, it's fine. I just want to let you know so you can address it. And I'm sorry, and I did address it. I was able to work from home as a programmer even back in the early 2010s. They didn't want you to work from home, just like they don't want you to work from home now. But there was nothing that I needed to do that forced me to be in the office. But in this case, I asked my boss if I can work from home while I resolve this issue because he has separation anxiety and he just probably needs some time to calm down. And that was the case for a few years. Silence. In fact, this lady right next to me, anytime I seen her, I would inquire. I said, "Have you heard my dog lately?" She said, "No, he's been very quiet. It's very nice." Okay. I asked the other lady in the apartment next to me. She hasn't heard anything. Now, the lady below me, also not Ursula, she'll let me know anytime my dog even farts. Okay? So I get this crazy letter, and by then I was working from home at least 3 days a week for a few years. So the fact that she says that he barks all day, every day, it couldn't possibly be my dog because I'm home most of the week. It could potentially be him on the days that I am not home, but certainly not the culprit that's been barking, that's been driving you crazy for months and months and months. Anyway, the point is, years later, her friend, Roselle Silverstein, she's always been, how do I put it? Off. Not a medical diagnosis. But I go out of my way to avoid her because she doesn't like dogs. Whenever she sees someone with a dog, she screams and runs away. And at that point, it's not pleasant, but if that's the end of the interaction and she's afraid of me, good, go run away. Nothing's going to come of it. During the pandemic, her mother fell ill. The person taking care of her, making sure she was on her meds, is gone. Her brother took his mother to live with him in New Jersey and dumped his mentally ill sister in a co-op and 3 apartments that he owned. 1, 2, 3. Not a primary residence. Plus he owns another one in New Jersey to take care of his mom. He should be taking care of his sister as well. Not dumping her to terrorize minorities, minding their business. And anyone with a dog. But she especially doesn't like brown people. So after terrorizing my dog, it escalated. Instead of running away, she would corner me and scream at me in the elevator so I couldn't escape. And she would follow me outside and pace around in circles and stare me down from across the parking lot. I posted that video already. So I emailed the Google forum, the censorship-free one that I got banned from last time. And I said, management is aware. They said there's nothing they could do about it. Just get everyone else on board to document it and make police reports whenever they feel like it. So that's why I told everyone this, because I was being terrorized on a multi times per day basis, because my new puppy was being outside trained, and at that point you have to go every 1 to 2 hours to make sure they don't have an accident in the house. So I have a very valid reason to be going up and down in the elevator from 16, okay, to train my puppy. She rides up and down in the elevator all day for no good reason, harassing the people that when the elevator door pops open, screams, "Ah, bloody murder" at them. And she started cursing at me. I had enough. Ursula Hahn responds and she says, "It's not appropriate to discuss this here. Let management handle it. And if it bothers you so much, take the elevator." So juxtapose her crazy fucking letter to me with her response that if I don't like being harassed, I should take the staircase from the 16th floor so her delusional friend Karen can ride up and down in the elevator all day and scream at black and brown people. Kiss my fucking ass.